21st Century Entrepreneurship with Martin Piskarik.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm DJ the Money Coach, and I'm here to teach you 4 secrets to wealth. And the reason why we can teach you 4 secrets to wealth is because we have a story like most people have. At one point in time, I was inundated with over $60,000 worth of consumable debt and credit card debt. And I found a way to get out of that by reading a book called The Road to Wealth by Susie Orman. And back in the late 90s, before the internet exploded, you literally still had to go to the library to do research. So what I was able to do when I had over $60,000 worth of consumable debt and had a 525 credit score, I read one chapter in Susie Orman's book, The Road to Wealth, and it taught you about how credit works on personal finance. Upon reading that chapter and implementing it in my life, I actually rose the 525 to a 700 credit score. And within 5 years, I was able to get myself out of $60,000 worth of debt. So what I'm going to do is show you step by step how you can do the same thing that is nothing special. If all you have the ability to do is do what we call the 4x4. Number 1, have discipline. Number 2, have accountability. Number 3, plug into a proven system of success, which we have created. Is called the 7 spheres of money. And number 4, go to work for 2 to 5 years and you can become completely debt free. And you, like myself, can raise your credit score from 525 to 800. Let me show you step number 1, how to do that. The first thing that you have to do is actually have a financial evaluation of your personal finances. Most people don't do this. It's called a budget. So what you have to do is look at your personal finances just like a successful business and their P&Ls, profit and loss. So when I look at my budget for my home, my car, my utilities, my recurring expenses, my food, my dog, my children, I find out what that is every month. Now, to give you an example how this is important for you, let's say you like bottled water. Now, you may be a Fiji bottled water drinker, but let's say your local grocery store makes their name brand water and the Fiji bottle costs $5 or £5, but the local store bottle costs $1, and what you don't realize, the water is the same. If you just change from the Fiji to the store bottle, you would actually get the same type of water, but you would save $4 per bottle of water. Now, most families, they generally buy 48 bottles of water per week. So let's do the math on that. That's 4 times 48. Let's round it up to 50. That's $200 that you're overspending when you're in a lot of debt with a bad credit score. So what you should do is now make a change. Don't change the things you need, but change the price points that you're paying for. So once you do that with everything in your house, you now will make corrections in the course and you will start saving money. And like me, when I had $60,000 worth of debt and bad credit, I took that $400 a month savings and I'd applied it towards my debt. As I started applying that towards my debt, simultaneously, guess what happened to my credit scores? They started going up. And then when I started paying my credit on time, it started going up because there's certain ways to actually increase your credit score without you having to file bankruptcy. So now the second thing we want to do is teach you some of the secrets inside of the financial world. Since I am a licensed professional, I hold all insurance licenses, home, auto, property, and casualty, And at one point in time, ladies and gentlemen, I held all security licenses as well. I built a successful financial planning practice that actually held over $60 million worth of assets. And this is what I found. Most professionals who buy insurance, they don't know how to buy it properly. Let me give you an example. If you were to go to the gas station and you were in Croatia or you were in London, you would buy gas by what unit of measurement? You would buy it by the liter. And what you would do is try to find the best quality gas at the least expensive liter. So in America, we buy it by the gallon. So if I'm in America and gas is $6 a gallon at X store, but store across the street, the same quality gas, 92 octane, is $4. I'm going to go get the $4 gas and save money. So that's how you buy gas. Now, when you go to the grocery store and you want to get bread, what unit of measurement do you buy bread? You buy it by the loaf or you buy it by 16 ounces, which is a pound. So that's how you buy gas by a unit of measure, by the liter. You buy bread by the loaf. How do I buy insurance? I thought you would never ask. You buy insurance by what's called cost per thousand. How is it sold to me? When a professional insurance agent sits down with you, ladies and gentlemen, he or she will ask you, hey, Bob, how much insurance do you need? Oh, you know what? I need $1,000 worth of insurance. Or he'll say, how much can you afford in terms of the payment? You'll say, you know what, Bob? I can afford $200 a month. Guess what Bob comes back and does? He sells you $1,000 at $200 a month. But that's not the way you buy it because you're overpaying for it. The insurance agent is never going to tell you what I'm about to tell you that nobody would tell you in the industry. When you buy insurance and everything's equal, my health, my credit score, my income, the qualifier to actually get you the best deal is cost per thousand. What do you mean, DJ? When I look at a $1,000 policy and I need $500,000 worth of life insurance, all I do is divide 1,000 into 500,000. That gives me 500 units. So now I want to know how much that unit costs me. Give you a great example. I have a policy, $500,000. I pay $33 per month for $500,000, which breaks down to 72 cents per unit. But if you are the same age as I am with the same credit score, on average, you're paying $5 per unit. You see how that works? So let me just break the math down. You make it real simple. So I'll break it down to $30 times 12 is $360 a year. Since it's $500,000 worth of policy, I divide 1,000 into 500,000. It gives me 500 units. So I take $360 a year. I divide 500 into it, and you get 72 cents per unit. Now you're buying it the way the pros will never tell you. So instead of you paying, $1,000, now you can pay like we pay, $360. You see how that works, ladies and gentlemen? And now that you've done that, when you ask them a question, they will now be in a flux because you know what they don't expect you to know. Now, if you needed $1 million worth of coverage, you can get $1 million worth of coverage for less than $500,000 policy. That's the way you win in the budget and get out of debt and increase your credit scores. And that's what we've been able to do with over 45,000 people over the last 20 years. And we're going to teach you step by step how to do that in a program called Family Finance 101. You would actually, just like Susie Orman in Road to Wealth, you would just go to, how do I buy insurance the right way, DJ? And then it would break down the cost per thousand. Does that make sense, ladies and gentlemen? That's the way you win. So now with that said, let's talk about how you actually buy insurance plus retirement plan.
I see it in your eyes, the hesitation. You can't let fear survive. The world needs saving, so put push your doubts aside. Don't be complacent. This is your chance to rise. You've got to take it. Take a breath. You can handle this.
See, a lot of times people don't know how to do that correctly. So when you are investing in pensions, 401ks, a lot of times your portfolio has mutual funds in it. And a lot of times you don't know there's actual fees called 12B1 fees. And a lot of people say, well, I have an ETF that doesn't charge me any fees. Well, that's not necessarily true, ladies and gentlemen. Reality is that they charge you so minimum amounts that they can legally say there's no fees being charged to manage that fund. But you and I both know nobody does anything for free. What do I mean? When you look at, they say water is safe to drink, they based the pollutants or the, negative stuff in it by the billions. So they'll say if it only has 1/1 billionth of, chlorine in it, it's safe for you to consume it. And that's the way they do it in finance. So if they're charging you versus 1% to manage your fund, they're charging 1,000%. They technically said it's a no load, no fee fund. But here's what you don't know. When you are getting your increases and your, interest on your fund, they actually take those fees out, and just like anything, they multiply and they accrue. So you're getting the net return, not the gross return. So what we do is teach you how to identify, to actually realize how the best way to do that. So then we have what's called 5 rules to how to invest. You know what the first rule is? 1, create a money market account. A money market account, if you are creating it for an emergency fund, you will actually set up yourself with 3, 6, 9, and 12 months for emergencies. What do I mean by that? If I make $50,000 a year, for every $10,000 that I make, I should have 1 month of emergency fund set aside in a high yield money market account. Not a savings account, ladies and gentlemen, because a savings account is determined for you to make major purchases over 2 to 5 years. If I'm gonna buy a house, I will put money aside for 2 to 5 to 10 years in a savings account. If I'm gonna buy a car, I'm gonna put money aside in a savings account for 2 to 5 years. You have a separate account called a high yield money market account just for oops.
There's gonna be some danger, danger, danger. You're only getting braver, braver, braver. Steady on till you scare the fear away. You're only getting braver, you're only getting braver.
What do I mean by that? Recently, we just had Hurricane Beryl come through my community about a month ago, and my whole fence was blown away. And when I called my insurance companies, ladies and gentlemen, they said, yeah, your deductible and your insurance policy covers it, but your deductible, DJ, is $6,000. The fence to replace was $2,500. So you know what I did, ladies and gentlemen? I tapped into my emergency fund so I don't have to use the claim and be a negative $3,500 or even making my rates go up. And that's the usage of an emergency fund. And I know most people say they know about it, but the question really is, do you actually apply it? And that's what we want to make you understand. Remember I said 4 things you have to do: discipline. Number 2, accountability. Who is holding you accountable to the stuff you know that you are applying to your daily life? That's the key to getting out of debt. That's the key to increasing your credit score step by step.
You're growing stronger. The dark is taking flight. So don't you falter.
Now let me say this to you. If I earned a 525 credit score and it took me 5 to 7 years, Do you really think that I can get rid of it in 2 to 5 days, 2 to 5 weeks, 2 to 5 months? No. I have to go through the same process to rebuild my credit up the way I ruined my credit, or I didn't know I was ruining my credit. Does that sound familiar, ladies and gentlemen? So what we want to do, if you're right now listening to this amazing show and you say, you know what, I have a 620 credit score and the bank told me to get the best mortgage or the best insurance rate, I need to have 700, then what we have to do is take those disciplines, look at the budget, take 1 hour a week and study it, and then start incrementally apply the principles that I'm sharing with you. And then as you start paying down your debt, your credit score over the next 30 days would normally take about a 30-point jump. So within 60 days, you can go from 620 to 700. You can go right back into your bank, apply for that loan, apply for that insurance, and get a better rate. Here's another thing that they don't tell you in terms of how you actually are charged for insurance. It's also based on your credit score. So they have what's called preferred rate. That means, ladies and gentlemen, you have an 800 credit score, no lower than 780. So you get to get the best price. Then they have preferred plus. When you're 800 and above, they give you deep discounts, like bundling your home and your auto together. But they normally don't tell you this stuff. Then you have what's called standard. That's the median rate for everybody. But then they have what's called rated. Let's say you have diabetes, hypertension. Now they charge you more money because you're more of a risk. So if you don't know this, you're automatically going to cause yourself to pay more for the same product that somebody else has better credit, but they don't have better health than you have. Does that make sense, ladies and gentlemen? That's exactly what we want to do. Let me share with you the mindset on how to become successful. And since I am a former baseball player, I learned this stuff from my coaches for over 15 years. And this has nothing to do with talent or intelligence. It's really these fundamentals that anybody can apply. So we call it the 4x4, and this is what I did to become where I am today. Number one, as I said, first thing, if you discipline yourself, you won't have to worry about being disciplined by other people or institutions. Number two, accountability. I had to allow myself to be accountable to somebody that already was successful to give me guidance, Susie Orman, through her book. Number three, I had to find a system that I can plug into, just like I went to high school, like I went to college, just like I played baseball and was trained by the most successful people and do exactly what they tell me. And then number four, here's the dirty word: do the work and don't negotiate the price of true success. And I had to put my head down for 2 to 5 years. And then I had to do what we call the 4 Ps, ladies and gentlemen. Number one, professionalism. And I shouldn't have to explain this to you, but professionalism means speak the King's English, show up on time, have the right clothes on. Number two, persistence. Water over time erodes everything because it persistently keeps flowing. Number three, perseverance. When I found out I had a 525 credit score, I had to persevere and put my big boy and my big girl panties on. And then number four, I had to perform when the opportunity presented itself. And by putting the 4x4 together in 2 to 5 years, I was able to incorporate into a system and overcome $60,000 worth of debt, raise my 525 to an 800, and within 6 years, I propelled myself to a 6-figure income and a $1 million net worth.
I am the only one who can see what was once blind to me. To be is for certain, it is for certain. My talents deserve I. That's my lyric, my word for the future, for the world, with the voice of thunder. To me, surrender, surrender to me.
So you know what, guys? It's not about me. It's not about you, but it's about the community. And you know what we do? We give back to the community. And how do we give back? We actually donate our time and we donate our resources to help those less fortunate. And matter of fact, right now in Africa, we're actually building healthcare centers for the indigenous people to use free of charge. We're building irrigation systems. And we also have built an elementary school from K to 8 for all the people that are actually in around the actual resort that we actually are building right now today. And what we can do for you is give you a complimentary consultation to actually do a financial budget for you, show you a breakdown and look at your insurance policies, your mortgage policies, look at your declaration pages, and allow you to get an opportunity to show you how to get an inside track to propel you over the next 2 to 5 months to build the foundation to propel you to be where you want to be and achieve debt freedom, raise yourself up to an 800 credit score, and then start to generate passive income by owning one property a year. And it's very easy to do. All right, guys. And how do you access and take advantage of this amazing offer to help your family out? First thing you can do is you can go to DJTheMoneyCoach.com. Soon as you hit DJTheMoneyCoach.com, a free box pops up and it gives you an opportunity to get our free 4 ways to buy life insurance. And then it also offers you a free consultation. That's DJTheMoneyCoach.com. Now, if you're like me and you're still in the analog world, we actually have a toll-free number that's available 24/7, 365. That number is 1-866-395-3042. 866-395-3042. And if you'd like to see us on YouTube, you can catch us at DJ the Money Coach. And on YouTube Friday nights, I do a show called Family Finance with DJ the Money Coach at 6:30 p.m. Central every day to help you achieve what we call the pom-pom lifestyle. That's plenty of money and peace of mind. And we say, come join us on the Beaches of World Club. And we'll see you next time.
21st Century Entrepreneurship with Martin Piskarik.
Imagine a space where triumphs, trials, and tales of entrepreneurship come alive. Welcome to the 21st Century Entrepreneurship Podcast, a gold awarded journey hosted by Martin Piskarik, connecting with listeners in 95 countries and ranking in the top 0.5% of all podcasts. Join our exclusive community, elevate your perspective, and embark on the path to success.